You notice it most when there's no reason for it. A colleague laughs at something you said, and instead of feeling pleased, you feel exposed. A friend tells you they appreciate you, and your first instinct is to deflect or change the subject. Someone you're getting to know sends a text that says they had a good time, and you stare at it, not with warmth, but with a quiet, creeping unease. You are liked. You are approved of, and somewhere beneath your conscious thoughts, your body tenses. Your mind starts scanning for something, though you don't know what. It feels like standing in a room that suddenly feels too quiet, waiting for a noise that might shatter it. You wonder why you can't just accept it, why you can't relax into the warmth of someone's genuine regard. You assume something is wrong with you, that you are broken in a way that makes you incapable of receiving love the way other people seem to. This tension doesn't announce itself loudly. It doesn't feel like fear, exactly. It feels more like a low-grade alert system that never shuts off. When someone's attention is on you in a positive way, your mind doesn't settle into the moment. Instead, it starts working. It reviews what you just said, looking for the thing that might eventually turn them away. It monitors their face for the slightest flicker of disappointment. It prepares an exit strategy just in case. You might notice yourself becoming quieter, more guarded, or you might overcompensate, talking more, performing more, trying to earn the approval that has already been freely given. You leave interactions not feeling fulfilled, but exhausted. And a small part of you confirms a familiar story, that you are safer when you are alone, because alone, there is no one to disappoint. If you trace this feeling back through your life, you will find its roots not in a single moment, but in a pattern where love or attention was conditional, where approval had to be maintained or it would be withdrawn, where you learned early on that the people who were supposed to make you feel safe were actually unpredictable. Maybe a caregiver's mood shifted without warning. Maybe affection was given when you achieved something and withheld when you didn't. Maybe you were the one who had to manage the emotions of the adults around you, learning to read the room before you could read a book. In that environment, your brain made a logical conclusion. Closeness is dangerous. Attention is a test, and being liked is just the calm before the criticism. Psychologists call this a learned attachment pattern. Specifically, it often aligns with what's known as a fearful-avoidant or anxious attachment style. But labels only matter if they help you see the mechanism. And the mechanism here is not a flaw in your character. It is a survival strategy that your brain perfected. The brain's primary job is to keep you alive. And to do that, it needs to predict threats. In childhood, emotional unpredictability was a threat, so your brain built a model of the world where the people who get close to you are the people who can hurt you most. Now, as an adult, when someone likes you, your brain doesn't just see their affection. It sees the potential for that affection to turn into rejection. It sees the opening of a door that could later slam shut, and so it prepares you. It tightens your muscles. It puts your thoughts on high alert. It creates tension to protect you from the pain you felt before. This is why you feel tense around people who like you, not because you are incapable of connection, but because your nervous system is still running an old program. It is mistaking emotional safety for emotional danger, and it's doing its job perfectly. The problem is the job description is outdated. To understand how to change this, you have to understand what's happening inside your brain when someone offers you genuine warmth. There's a region called the anterior cingulate cortex that gets activated when we experience social pain. Rejection, exclusion, criticism, they all light up this area. But for someone with a history of conditional love, the anticipation of that pain can light up the same circuits. Your brain doesn't wait for the rejection to happen. It treats the possibility of rejection as a threat right now. And because the person likes you, the stakes are higher. The potential loss is greater, so your threat response ramps up. It's like standing on the edge of a cliff and being told to lean forward. Your body will resist. even if the person asking you to lean is someone you trust. Your survival instincts don't care about trust. They care about not falling.
This creates a painful paradox. The more someone genuinely sees you and accepts you, the more your system screams at you to pull away. Because being truly seen means you have something real to lose. And your brain, still working from the old playbook, says it's better to lose it yourself before it gets taken from you. So you keep people at arm's length. You find reasons they're not right for you. You focus on their minor flaws instead of their affection. You convince yourself that you're fine on your own. And in doing so, you protect yourself from a pain that may never come. But you also starve yourself of the connection you actually need. The way out of this is not to force yourself to trust people. The brain doesn't work that way. You cannot logic your way out of a survival response. What you can do is retrain the prediction system. You can teach your brain, slowly and repeatedly, that closeness does not always lead to pain, that affection can be stable, that being liked does not have to be a test you eventually fail. The first step is to notice the tension without reacting to it. When you feel that tightening in your chest, that urge to withdraw or perform, you simply name it. You say to yourself, "This is my alarm system. This is the old program." You don't try to make it go away. You don't judge yourself for feeling it. You just observe it as a sensation, a thought pattern, a relic. This step matters because it interrupts the automatic loop. In neuroscience, this is called affect labeling. When you name an emotion, you activate the prefrontal cortex, the reasoning part of the brain, and you dampen the activity in the amygdala, the alarm center. You literally turn down the volume on the fear just by acknowledging it. In a real-life moment, this might look like sitting across from someone who just paid you a compliment. You feel the urge to dismiss it, to make a joke, to change the subject. Instead, you take a breath and you silently note, there it is. That's the alarm. And you stay present. You don't act on the urge. You just let the compliment sit in the air, even if it feels uncomfortable. The second step is to stay in the discomfort a little longer than you want to. This is exposure, and it has to be done gently. Your brain learns that something is safe not by being told it's safe, but by experiencing it without the predicted disaster. When you feel the urge to pull away, you stay for 5 more minutes. When you want to deflect, you say thank you instead. You don't have to believe the compliment. You don't have to feel worthy of it. You just have to practice not running from it. Each time you do this, your brain updates its prediction model. It collects data. It notices that you received warmth and you didn't shatter, that the floor didn't open up, that the person is still there, still looking at you the same way. Over time, the data accumulates. The threat level drops. This isn't about becoming a different person. It's about giving your brain new evidence. The third step is to separate someone else's perception from your own. When someone likes you, your instinct is to measure that against how you feel about yourself. If there's a gap, if they see you as valuable and you don't, the tension comes from that dissonance. Your brain wants consistency. It wants your self-image and their image of you to match. So instead of accepting that they see something good, you might try to lower their view to match yours. You point out your flaws. You downplay your strengths. You push them away so the external and internal can align again. But what if you didn't have to resolve that gap right now? What if you could let their positive view of you exist, even if you don't fully agree with it? This is called cognitive dissonance tolerance. It's the ability to hold 2 conflicting ideas at once. I don't always feel good about myself, and this person sees something good in me. Both can be true. You don't have to choose. You don't have to fix it. You can just let their warmth be their experience, and your discomfort be yours, without needing one to cancel the other. The fourth step is to practice receiving in small, low-stakes ways. Connection doesn't have to be a grand, vulnerable confession. It can be tiny. It can be accepting a cup of coffee without insisting you pay next time. It can be letting someone hold the door and just saying thank you without a joke. It can be receiving a simple compliment on your shoes and just saying, "I'm glad you like them." These micro moments of reception are like reps at the gym for your nervous system. They build the muscle of receiving. They teach your body that it can take something good in without having to earn it or defend against it. And because the stakes are low, the alarm is quieter. You can practice with strangers, with acquaintances, with people whose opinion doesn't carry as much weight, and slowly that capacity generalizes. It starts to show up in the relationships that matter most. The fifth step is to let yourself be known in small doses. The tension around being liked is often a fear of being seen. If someone likes you, they might eventually see the parts you hide. And if they see those parts, the thinking goes, they will leave. So you keep yourself shallow. You share opinions, but not feelings. You talk about your day, but not your doubts. You perform a version of yourself that is likable, but not fully known. And then you feel lonely inside the connection. The way out is to take tiny risks. You share something slightly vulnerable, a small insecurity, a minor fear, and you notice what happens. Most of the time, nothing bad happens. The person doesn't recoil. They might even share something in return. This is how trust is built, not in grand gestures, but in small, repeated experiences of being seen and not abandoned. Each time you do this, your brain learns that visibility is not a threat. It learns that being known can coexist with being liked. If you distill all of this down into one image, it might look like a door. For years, you've kept that door closed because you learned that open doors let in cold air, but you've also been cold on the inside. The tension you feel is your hand on the handle, not sure whether to pull it open or hold it shut. The work is not to force the door open. It's to stand there, hand on the handle, and notice that the air outside feels different now. You're not a child anymore. You can choose who you let in. You can close the door if you need to, but you can also crack it open, just an inch, and feel the warmth of someone standing on the other side, not rushing you, not demanding entry, just standing there, waiting. And you can let that warmth touch your skin. You can let it be real. You can let it stay. The people who like you are not a test you have to pass. They are not judges waiting for you to fail. They are not your past dressed up in new faces. They are just people standing outside your door, offering something you've been trained to refuse. You don't have to throw the door open all at once. You just have to stop holding it so tightly shut. You just have to let a little light in. And in that light, you might start to see yourself the way they do. Not as someone who needs to earn love, but as someone who was always worthy of it, even before you knew how to receive it.